we've got one of the most unique occupations that we've ever heard on the show. Let me give you a quick throwback, just so that you can refresh the memory. Shareen, what do you do?
Okay, here goes. I am a laughter and happiness professor. I teach people how to laugh and be happy for a living.
Can you believe that there's actually an occupation, somebody who is a laughter and happiness professor? Yes, there is, because that particular professor is in your midst, in your company. Please welcome Shareen, who measures 257 on the Richter scale of the earthquake of happiness. Shareen is here in the flesh. Welcome.
Hi, well, thank you for having me. So nice to be here.
When we heard that you were a professor of laughter and happiness, I needed to have you in the studio. I needed you to share what you know, the wealth of knowledge that you have.
The world is really not a very happy place, and it's really up to us to change that.
Well, let's talk about happy, the concept itself. I think maybe as a start point, we need to define happy, because I know it's different to everybody.
Being happy really is a feeling of joy inside, like, I'm okay, I've got this, I can cope, I can manage. That for me is what real happiness is about.
I know that you have extensive work in creating change in organizations, in individuals, in groups, but I'm sure it starts at a point where you have to look at the world and find out what's making us not happy. If you look at the household, do I have enough to make sure there's groceries for the family? Load shedding, when's that's going to happen again? Then let's look at the community. Oh my word, the crime is going up.
Our happiness is not determined by things outside of ourselves. And that is the biggest shift in mindset. What you've said is 100% right, but what you've said is also 100% wrong. It's just how you look at it. So whether you say something is right,
Yes.
it's right. And whether you want to believe it, it's right. And whether you say it's wrong too. So what is your perception of reality? And I think perception is a very big factor in all of this. And I'll give you a little example of an experiment that was done in New York around perception and how perception really dictates every part of our lives. Is they did a social experiment in New York where they took a gentleman and put him in Times Square where all the film stars are and where you can buy movie show tickets. And they got a bit of fake paparazzi around him to take photos and pretend he was famous. And within 10 or 15 minutes, there must have been 200 people around this gentleman going, oh my word, what's his name? Wasn't he in that show? Oh, we must get his autograph. Oh, we need a picture. And in actual fact, he wasn't. He was just a regular guy, just a regular person like you or me. But the perception was there's paparazzi around him. He's in Times Square. He must be famous. And again, that goes in our own lives with things that we go through and things that happen to us. And as I said to you before, kind of we say, why is this happening to me? But actually a growth mindset will say, why is this happening for me? What am I supposed to learn from this? How can I grow? How can I improve myself? And how can I make myself a better person? As opposed to blaming everyone outside of ourselves, or alternatively looking for happiness outside of ourselves.
We live in an environment where we want instant gratification, don't we? We want things to be fixed fast.
Yes.
But this sounds like a practice. It sounds like something that you need to be doing every single day. And also there are people who I think are quite resistant to this concept of happy. Tell me how you bring people like that, people who are battle-scarred by life, who have been through every single thing that could have gone wrong, in their opinion, has gone wrong.
You have to define what does happy actually mean for you. You have goals for your career, you have financial goals, you want to buy a home or you want to get married or you have relationship goals, but people just use happiness very loosely and they say, I want to be happy. But what does that actually mean? What does it look like? And when you write that down, what does happiness mean? Does it mean a good relationship with your spouse or your partner?
All right.
Does it mean feeling productive in the workplace? You could think having R1 million in your bank makes you happy, but I can guarantee you there are a lot of people who have R1 million in the bank that are not happy. So again, it's a matter of perspective.
There's this important thing to actually just write things and goal setting in the happy. And then I suppose what goal setting what follows that is that you taking action and start doing the smaller things that could feed into what the understanding is. But it does start with
writing down what it is, because so often we think we want something, we achieve it, we don't notice it, and we move on.
Yeah.
And so when you actually journal, this is what I want to achieve, or you just make a note. And one of the things which is very powerful is called 3 Good Things. And this comes out of UC Berkeley on the science of happiness.
Oh, I've heard this one. I love this one.
Yes. Is that every night before you go to sleep, because this is when we ruminate, and when we ruminate, that's when we get anxious, that's
Yes.
when we get stressed, because our mind goes crazy and we start thinking of all these things, is not saying, what are 3 things I'm grateful for? Because gratitude is a hard feeling to encapsulate. So when you say, I'm grateful for my dog, I'm grateful for my coffee, it's you just kind of throwing these things out, right?
Yes.
But if you say, what 3 good things happened to me today, you actually have to define them and go in and go, well, what was good that actually happened, and why was it good, and why did it make me feel good? Because then you start tapping into actually what's real and important for you. Even if you have a terrible day, which there will be days where you will have a terrible day, is to look at those instances. If you had a fight with someone, say for example, what good thing happened out of that? Well, you'll say nothing, but that's not true, because what did it teach you? Did you learn you need more patience? Did you need to learn that you need to listen more? Did you learn that you need to try and work on your anger, because maybe you got too angry and you didn't allow the other person an opportunity to express themselves? So 3 Good Things is very powerful. And when you focus on the positive, when you fall asleep in that mindset, you get a better sleep. Your oxygen is better. Your blood pressure isn't so high. You wake up feeling refreshed in the morning.
True.
And that's part of the process of generating a happier life.
Was somebody who accused me of being toxically positive.
Yes.
And it was something that didn't sit well with me, because I needed to understand what that was. Was that person's perception of me being oblivious to the realities of life? Because it's by no means that.
Maybe inside you have found that happy spot and it is actually real, but for somebody who isn't happy, it appears to be toxic
There we
positivity,
go.
but your perception is different to theirs.
Exactly. It's amazing meeting somebody with a very good and similar energy, because automatically it feels like the best tennis match of
Yes.
like positivity, and your head's moving in either way. It's wonderful. My privilege is to get people from one mood, which is in traffic after a heavy day's work,
Yes.
to their household, where they can have a smile on their face and greet their family with that energy.
And whatever you perceive externally is what will show up for you and what seems real for you, whether it is or not. So all of us could be sitting in this room and we'll all walk out with a different interpretation of what happened. Studies have shown that we make about 35,000 choices a day.
Yeah.
So think of a stadium filled with 35,000 seats, people. That's how many choices you get every day. What are you choosing for yourself every single moment of every single day? Because those choices create your reality.
Hi, Carl. My question is, what do you do if you find yourself in a state where you want to be happy, but you cannot just see things in a positive way?
You can use a rubber band. You can use an elastic band, a piece of string.
Yes.
You can use a beaded bracelet, anything that you have. Put that on your hand, on your arm, that bracelet,
Yeah.
and leave it there and forget about it. Pick 1 hour in the day where you switch hands. And during that 1 hour, you make a conscious choice to smile as much as you can, to put a little spring in your step, to think positive thoughts, even though in the beginning when there is so much negativity around and your programming and your conditioning is always going to be to the negative. That's
Yeah.
your default, right? So now we're going to change the default, because how do you change the default if you don't even have an awareness of the thoughts that are going on in your mind? So we have as humans over 70,000 thoughts every single day. But if I said to you, what were you thinking 3 hours ago? You probably wouldn't be able to tell me. So the first step to changing it is to actually have an awareness of what am I allowing to go through my mind 24/7. Then when you think a negative thought, you catch yourself thinking that thought. So you become the observer to your thoughts. What am I thinking? What am I allowing to process in my mind that I don't even realize I'm allowing to have these thoughts? So every time you catch yourself having a negative thought in that hour, switch hands. Okay, I'm sitting in the traffic. Oh my gosh, that taxi just pulled in front of me. I'm so annoyed.
Yes.
That was a negative thought. Switch hands. Okay, now whether the taxi came in front of me or not is really not going to determine whether I get to my destination any faster. So don't let it bother me. let's rather just turn the music up. Let's rather just actually start dancing to the music.
Yes.
Or call someone I care about and tell them I care about them, or do something positive and proactive during that time. And what I always say, which is really life-changing, is that this should become a daily practice. And if you can get through 1 hour, the goal is then to say, right, I managed 1 hour. Now let me try for 2 or even an hour and a half. And then try for 3. And some days you won't manage 10 minutes. But the goal, and I always say it's a lifetime thing, because happiness is an experience and the way you want to spend your life. It's not a destination. It's not, I'll be happy when it's the weekend, because when the weekend comes, you don't suddenly become happier and feel all these elated emotions. You don't wake up on a Saturday morning jumping and dancing out of bed going, woohoo, it's Saturday. You wake up and go, oh, I've got washing, I've got housework, I've got, whatever it is. And those thought processes continue. So happiness is not a destination. It's the journey of life. And you have to decide, it's not, I'm going to be happy when I win the lotto. I'm going to be happy when it's the weekend, when I go on holiday, when I can retire. No, because we've got to celebrate the victories every single day.
You actually said that sometimes even faking a laugh, faking the happy, will create the same biological connections to happiness if you fake it. So I would love for us to, in the next couple of minutes, do a laughter exercise.
And you're just going to put on the loudest, craziest, fakest laugh.
Standing by.
Because all you want is drugs. So we can do it all together.
Every time you say that, you get a laugh out of us. It worries me about the condition of my team. Yeah. Because in their heads, they're laughing. They're like, hey, you're right. So let's do this.
Okay, so on the count of 2, then we're just going to pretend we're having this funny conversation, and we're all going to put on our craziest laugh.
Yes.
1, 2.
Okay, never call back again. Thank you. Right there.
And it's really cool because some people have really funny laughs. They snort, they grunt. People make really mad sounds.
I'm a snorter, yeah.
And I actually entered the World Laughing Competition, and my partner was actually, he won the man with the funniest laugh in the world. His name's Doug Collins. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but he was my laughing partner. He was discovered at a comedy show in the States. He was a contestant. Yeah. Someone heard him laughing, and he has really the craziest, funniest laugh you've ever heard in your life. And just hearing that sound of laughter makes you laugh. That's what's so cool. You don't need jokes or comedy.
I see
for this.
there's a lot of YouTube videos of Doug Collins. It's amazing. By the way, I'm getting like, stop it. I can't help it. And that's the whole idea. Is that and then Pearl literally said, OMG, this beep works. Shareen, you have been an absolute delight today. And I mean, we should just... Can we keep you? Honestly, I think we need you every day.
We should do laughter every day.
We should, but I really want people to see what you do. I know that you have a lot more in the bank with regards to positivity and training and happiness and laughter. So if anybody wants to see you, consult with you, connect with you, do we go to your website? Where's the best place to connect with you?
So the best place is my website. I'm also on Facebook under Laughter Coaching, and you can also find me as the Happiness Alchemist on Instagram.
Alchemist, really?
Yes.
Alchemist, you mean?
Alchemist.
Yes, your happiness dealer.
The drugs.
Yes, and a little voice note came through. I think this is the perfect way to wrap us up.
This is seriously working. I'm feeling so much better after a terrible day.
I'm going to ask everybody, if you send a voice note from here on out, you must fake laugh after every voice note today. It'll be great.
I think you should have a competition, Carl.
Yes.
The person with the funniest laugh.
I am completely in with that. I think we should totally do that. But
Definitely.
Shareen, thank you.